Hey guys, so it's time here to check out the Nexus 6's performance against the Zenfone 2, which was last year's flagship. And how does it compare in regards to the speed and camera? We can see in this video. So we can start off booting them both on. So it's still as spinny as ever, but if you've forgotten the specs, it's the Snapdragon, what is it again? It's the Snapdragon 805. You see, I nearly forgot myself there. Snapdragon 805 with Adreno 420 on the Nexus, and we are getting the Intel Z3 and the G6430 graphics chip on the Zenfone 2 4GB variant, so should be quite close here, but the Nexus still boots up slightly quicker here, but it's still slow if you ask me. I think Google could definitely do better, and we are running the latest software as well compared to the Zenfone, which is based upon Android 5.1. I think some builds of Android 5.1.1 have just been released, so I might see if I can get that on the device, and we should be getting Android M announced at the end of the month, so that could be pretty cool. So we can just start off here, open up some apps. I said we can start off here opening up some apps. So it looks like the Nexus is taking the lead here. How messy the screen gets though. Dirty screen. And this one. So literally identical for those two. Zenfone coming back now. Nexus. Haha, that was literally identical. Viber. Identical. WhatsApp. Wow, Zenfone doing very good here against a higher end processor, and I think that about covers it for the app opening. Bit quicker here on the camera, so quite mixed really, not huge difference. And let's just check out the browsing here. So we can start off with Phone Arena. Oh, I didn't register my touch. So Nexus much quicker there. 16 megapixel rear camera for the next Moto X. Maybe Motorola is going to be stepping up its game here, and we have some OIS as well to be included, so it should be pretty nice. Love the Moto X here, and GSM Arena. Server temporary unavailable. Wow. That's not good news for phone fans. GSM Arena is like the Nexus of phones. So we just try the Verge here. It's not coming up with the website, which is weird. Zenfone this time. No, the Nexus loaded the content a bit quicker at the top. So it looks like the Nexus here is giving you slightly faster browsing, if we're to be honest. One more, which can be Engadget. So that was literally identical. But slightly quicker here on the Nexus. So I'm probably going to lean towards the Nexus here when it comes to the web browsing. Not a huge difference though. So multitasking here. Slightly quicker here on the right. Wow, Nexus is doing very well here, no reloads, and virtually identical with the 4 gig device. So very little difference when it comes to the multitasking, it seems. Nexus doing very well here. So I'm going to give it a draw, I think, when it comes to the multitasking. I did actually check out the cameras as well on these two. So we can see basically like what the experience is. And you can have a look at some of the pictures here. And overall, I think the Nexus does take very nice photographs, as long as you can get a good focus with it. It was very temperamental at first when it came to focusing, but I think subsequent updates have helped the situation a little bit. The photos do look a little bit more realistic, I think, than the Zenphones, which tend to sometimes make them a bit kind of too colourful. But nevertheless, you know, you got to remember that the Zenfone is a much cheaper device, so the very fact that it can do very decent photos compared to the Nexus is very good indeed. And I'm certainly very satisfied with the performance here when it comes to good lighting. I think these Zenphones are a little bit brighter when it comes to the low light, however. And also it seems to have less grain as well, so I think there's definitely an improvement of the photo quality when it comes to the low light setting on the Zenfone, which the OIS on the Nexus doesn't seem to really help much against that. I also did a quick little video test as well between them, so you can check out if there's any difference here. So we can see which full HD looks better, and on the screen to me it looks like the Zenfone is a bit more vibrant with the colours. Maybe the Nexus is a little bit more realistic. So we can just check out the focusing here against a tree object. So looks like we are focused on both. So about the same there. I think maybe Google may have pushed out some updates on the Nexus 6 to fix the slow focusing. So it looks a little bit quicker and responsive there, which is good. But the footage looks very comparable, if I'm to be honest, considering that the Zenfone is much cheaper. So just a quick little test here, and hope you found it helpful. So for the video recording, I guess looking at it on a video computer, to me it looks like the Nexus's colours again are a bit more realistic. Some may call it like dull, but others would call it realistic, whereas the Zenfones, like the grass for example, to me looked very colourful and sometimes a little bit too colourful. I think the Asus could maybe tone down the colours and saturation on the video footage, but overall I think that it does very well against the Nexus when it comes to the camera, and you are going to be benefiting obviously from a much more in-depth kind of camera app as well, which is much more intuitive than the one on the Nexus, which is a bit bare if we're to be honest. However, the Nexus does support 4K. Would have liked to have seen 4K on the higher end Asus model. So just a quick little speed test then here and performance test between these two. I hope you found it, or I hope you took something away from it, and if you did, please like the video and I will see you next time. Cheers.